Welcome back to the One of a Kind Financial Show Daily with your host, Mike Milligan. Recently on the One of a Kind Financial Show radio show over this past weekend, Gary and I had a chance to talk about, of all things, Mike Tyson. Like, what in the world does Mike Tyson have to do with the One of a Kind Financial Plan, with you, Mike, with One Oak Financial, with really money at all? I mean, famously, Mike Tyson made a lot of it, spent it all, and he came back and, he's done a couple of the fight recently. That was an 8-figure payday for him. But we're going to talk about Iron Mike when he said it best, because he said it best. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So on the show, we broke down the punches that hit your retirement hardest and how to fight back. Enjoy this segment. It was fun to do it on the radio show, and it's going to be fun for you to hear it on playback mode. Respond. Don't let that uppercut or those body shots or that haymaker take down your retirement. Let's go in defensive mode when needed and make sure to deliver a knockout punch to things that could hurt you. Enjoy this segment from the One of a Kind Financial Show.
You heard it before. One of the most quoted lines in sports history. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Mike Tyson. Now, Mike might have been talking about boxing, but the quote applies to retirement planning. So let's dig into this. So Mike throws a punch. What's retirement income equivalent of that punch? It's got to be market crashes, inflation, unexpected taxes, healthcare costs. The reality is one bad year in your 60s can undo years of good savings if you're not ready. Now, think of those uppercuts, the body shots, the haymakers. Most of us have a plan for the ideal scenario, but what about things go sideways? Let's talk about the impact of the most dangerous early hit, Mike. Talk about that.
Well, I remember Mike Tyson, like clearly he was a feared fighter.
He was.
Back when I was growing up, there was actually a Nintendo game that you may or your kids may have had, Gary, called Mike Tyson's Knockout that you could progress through.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
Play. It was so fun. But like the most dangerous early hit in retirement is similar to like a Mike Tyson uppercut. It's retiring right before the market goes down. See, we're talking about taking money out of your investment accounts as income to live on while your investment balances are shrinking, locking in losses you can't recover from. We call, this would be equivalent of an uppercut. It's called sequence of return risk. Mm-hmm. And you're just not being hit. You're walking into it with your hands down. So here's my pro tip. Like if I was your trainer, your retirement trainer, like boxers have trainers, I would tell you that we would look to do things like build a 3-bucket system, having the income you need for 1 to 2 years in place, safe and preserved, having an intermediate bucket that could withstand some intermediate market downturns, and then having long-term money that keeps pace with inflations. So that cash reserves, that middle bucket, that stable income, and that long-term growth is important to combat that uppercut or sequence of return risk.
Yeah. What about inflation? It feels like, body shots that keep landing and landing and landing and landing after every round, Mike.
It just feels like, by the boxing world, you can't get away from those body shots. They typically got you in the corner and you can't escape, right?
Can't escape, no.
Yeah, so you're backed up against the ropes with nothing to do. And so inflation is sneaky because it doesn't knock you out right away. It just wears you down year after year after year. And most people underestimate how much everything costs, and that's a challenge for many, no matter if you're 10, 15, or 20 years into retirement. So here's the pro tip. Don't rely on a fixed income alone. Add inflation-adjusted annuities, dividend strategies, or real assets into your portfolio, and then recheck your budget annually because inflation never rests. It's got you against a rope. Unless you break free from it with some tools like I just mentioned, it's just going to continue punching away at your purchasing power in retirement.
Yeah, great advice, Mike. This is the One of a Kind Financial Show with Mike Milligan. I'm Gary Nolan, your consumer advocate. With us each week at this time is Mike Milligan. I want to give you the phone number. Get on the calendar. Get you all set up with that comprehensive plan. 800-748-1838, the one-of-a-kind financial plan. 800-748-1838, or text the word IDEAS to 600-700. The folks at One Oak Financial standing by, ready for that phone call this weekend. Get the one-of-a-kind financial plan that Mike talks about. Let's talk about the Haymaker. What's the financial version of that knockout punch?
Well, so the Haymaker's the one that's they're going to try to deliver to you to put you on your back. And, you know, a really good boxer can disguise this. Uncle Sam has disguised the Haymaker also.
Yes,
he disguised it in the form of required minimum distributions, IRMA penalties on Medicare for retirees, and you believing that your tax rate would go down in retirement. So the equivalent in boxing to the retirement Haymaker are taxes, because you don't see them coming, and then when you do, it's often a little too late to do something about them. So between RMDs, Social Security taxes, capital gains, state taxes, suddenly that supposed safe plan you put in place where you were going to be able to live retirement fully cost a whole lot more than you thought. In reality, there are no safe plans when we do our best, but there's no safe plans unless that plan includes tax planning. So we use tax deferred strategies appropriately, convert money to Roth when we can, keep money in traditional that's going to fall up under the standard deduction limits, effectively making that tax-free, and even using taxable accounts in the tax code of qualified dividends and capital gains to pay less tax over time. And then we manage withdrawal strategies to try to stay in lower tax brackets. It's one of the hallmarks of the one-of-a-kind financial plan. We don't just blindly take money out of accounts. We take for you to live on. We take money out of accounts that is the most tax efficient for now and for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's all the things that Mike's going to do for us. Tell us more about the one-of-a-kind financial plan, Mike.
The one-of-a-kind financial plan helps prevent knockouts, right, in retirement. Yep. It literally is built with you in mind. We ask you why money is important to you. We build a vision for what retirement's going to look like, and then we just allow you to dance around the ring, enjoying retirement and avoiding those punches that are ultimately going to come, because the plan addresses taxes, the biggest expense you're going to have in your life, retirement income that has cost of living adjustments to keep pace with inflation, investments that reduce risk and give you a smoother ride along in the market, and a long-term care strategy where you don't lose wealth at the end of your life, and a legacy plan that helps avoid probate taxes. There's that tax word again. Avoid probate taxes, and ultimately tells your family that you love them. The one-of-a-kind financial plan is something we at One Oak do. And in order to get that plan, all you have to do is call in and text, and we'll set a time to meet with you. Gary, you want to tell everybody how they can do that?
Sure, happy to do so, Mike. Of course, 800-748-1838, 800-748-1838, or text the word IDEAS to 600-700. The folks at One Oak Financial standing by, ready for your phone call this weekend. One more time, 800-748-1838, or text the word IDEAS to 600-700. Do it right now. Get on the calendar. Get you all set up with that one-of-a-kind financial plan.
This has been the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show Daily with your host, Mike Milligan. Mike is an investment advisory representative with Advisory Alpha LLC. Ideas by Mike doing business as One Oak Financial is an unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. Mike is in partnership with Advisory Alpha to be able to provide financial planning and assets under management service to his clients. Coaching, education, other financial services are offered through Ideas by Mike doing business as One Oak Financial. All education, all content provided on the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show Daily and the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show is for education purposes only. Please consult a licensed financial professional before acting on any of the things discussed in the show. And as always, you have the opportunity of reaching out to Mike by texting ideas to 600-700, getting on his calendar and spending time with him to discover how to build a one-of-a-kind financial plan for your one-of-a-kind life.